The devil's in the details.
I'm telling you. I mean, we all saw it. Coincidence? I think
How you doing
not.
today, officer?
No, no, it wasn't.
That ain't the song. Damn it. I played it. First time. Oh my God.
Have you tried Jack Daniels? It was me when I was a baby. Stick by it. Jack Daniels.
Hey sis, everybody sits on the other side now. Other side.
Don't go to bed with no price on your head. No, no, no. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Keep your eye on the sparrow. When the gets Don't roll the dice if you can't pay the price. No, don't do it. And don't run your feet down no dead end street. Oh, no, just keep your eye on the sparrow. When the going gets don't do it. Don't do me dirt or you're gonna get hurt. And don't run away till you hear what I say. No, no. Don't do it. Keep your eye on the sparrow. When the going gets don't do it. Ain't gonna fight with no fake in the night. Oh, no.
Court is now in session. Court's motto, y'all know what it is. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Just don't do it.
Word, okay.
My name is Chief Justice Boogie, presiding for today's session
Because I know where your ass
on this, the 25th day of January in the
Can you go and shout, Your Honor?
Oh, my bad. I thought I was loud. Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Court motto, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. My name is Judge Boogie, presiding on this, the 25th day of January in the year of our Lord and most blessed and precious omnipotent Savior, 2025. On the docket for today, we have a short docket, but an exciting one. As far as court business is concerned, we have no payouts, no marriage licenses. Shouts out to the Troublefields, the one and only official couple of this court, married yesterday in holy matrimony. They're still together after yesterday's shenanigans. We love it. No divorce proceedings, no small claims, no child support cases, no grievances, and no expungement hearings. As far as upcoming and scheduled civil, family, and criminal trials, today we have the trial of Mello versus the APD, with Troublefield representing the plaintiff, Mello Rodriguez, and the defense, D.A. Balthazar, for the state. This coming Monday at 6 p.m., we have State versus Dwell, with Balthazar representing the state, and Lando Law Services. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, she will be self-defending. This is a self-defense case, and that will be taking place Monday, January 27th at 6 p.m. That is a private trial. Arraignments for today, we have Desto Chamberlain, J.T. Lucas, and Wu Gambino. We also have a list as long as my arm of outstanding warrants. Most of them over the Martin Luther King holiday weekend. And I say that to say this. In the month of February, I don't want to see no plea deals. Throw the book at everyone. We are supposed to be the epitome of black excellence in these here COA states of Georgia within 5M in the universe of Grand Theft Auto. And therefore, we are supposed to be the example. Come in here in February and the book will be thrown at you. Respectfully. Now, let's get to the meat of this evening. Mello versus APD. If the plaintiffs and the defense would take their respective sides, we're going to hand it over to, and as for the jury, members of the DOJ who are not trying this case or involved in this case are sitting on the jury advisory. They are the jury. Troublefield, opening statements, you have 1 minute. Troublefield, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you now. If you can go
Okay,
on
sorry.
louder, yeah.
All right, so, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let's get to the heart of this case. This case is about trust. Trust in the system and the people who are supposed to uphold it. My client, Mr. Carmelo Vasquez, is a regular guy doing everything right. He works 3 jobs. He follows the rules. And when he went to court on December 27, 2024, he was ready to take responsibility for his actions. The judge fined him $460,000, a steep price, but hey, he accepted it. But then Officer Jason Castro, badge number 808, turned that fine into $4.6 million. That's not just a typo, that's life-changing. But what's worse, the judge told Castro to fix it, to cancel it. Simple, right? Yet weeks later, my client wakes up to every dollar in his account gone. Sure, they eventually gave the money back, but by then it was too late. He lost out on his $500,000 contract, he was humiliated in court, mocked, and the stress left him with performance anxiety so severe that he relies on honey packs just to feel like himself.
Help him.
Checks and balances were created to prevent mistakes like this. When people in power ignore them, we all lose. And with that, I yield my time.
I almost clapped.
How much does he want?
That was a good one.
Oh, he wants 20 mil.
Okay, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defense speaks about a system, right? But the thing is, systems are built by people, and people by nature are not perfect. They also bring up checks and balances. The term checks and balances, it actually is a banking term from back how they used to do checks back in the day. You know, once you calculate all of the in checks and all of the out checks, what must the books do? Balance. Now, keep in mind, checks and balances refer to a system in which if a check fails, a balance happens thereafter. A human error was made, an honest human error. And soon as it was brought to the attention of the accountants and the chief, it was fixed as expeditiously as we were notified. Now, we do understand 4.6 million, that's a big old oopsie, and that is a whole lot of zeros. But keep in mind, it was corrected within a timely fashion. And not that we hold any non-empathy towards the defendant or what consequences may have come from that mistake, but keep in mind, you can fall off of a mountain and explode at the bottom of it, and even then, you will not accrue enough medical bills to justify the mammonistic price being asked by the plaintiffs. There is a difference between restitution and outright greed, and I will prove that here today. Thank you.
Troublefield, you may call your first witness.
We'll call Mr. Carmelo Vasquez to the stand.
Mr. Vasquez, as you take your seat, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you COA 5M gods.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, so Mr. Vasquez, I'm gonna get the formalities out the way. I'm good, you good, we all good? All right, cool.
You can just call me Mello.
All right, Mello, cool. Hey, Mello. So, the $4.6 million was returned to you very, very quickly, as the DA would like to say. Why are you still seeking to sue the APD in this matter?
Well, when the money was mistakenly taken from my account, I immediately felt stress and panic, thinking I had been scammed or financially ruined. During this time, I was attempting to buy a car, but I was publicly humiliated when that transaction failed due to insufficient funds. This event triggered severe anxiety, led to my depression. The stress and depression severely affected my mental health, which began to manifest physically. I started I started experiencing ED, which further impacted my self-esteem.
ED?
Desperate for yeah, erectile dysfunction.
Oh, Lord Jesus, help him.
Further impacting my self-esteem, desperate for a solution, I became addicted to honey packs as a quick fix, which has, also created another financial strain.
My uncle was addicted to honey packs too.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh my God. Okay. So now you did mention many medical ailments that you suffer for during this ordeal. How is your treatment and diagnosis so far? Could you explain that?
Well, to be honest, my treatment and diagnosis has been a challenge because I've been too embarrassed to seek proper help. Culturally, in the black community, there's like a stigma
Better come.
around mental health. Many
Yes.
of us are taught to just tough it out instead of addressing the importance of therapy or counseling. It's been hard to admit to myself, let alone others, that I've been struggling with anxiety, depression, and ED. The
Oh,
ED in particular has been humiliating because as a
yes.
man, it felt like my sense of masculinity and self worth is tied to that. It's not easy to open up about something so personal, especially knowing others might judge me. I've tried to deal with it privately, but it has been ineffective. situation has left me isolated, ashamed, and unsure how to move forward.
This is terrible.
I do see. I thank you for your candor because it's kind of hard to admit that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So another question: can you explain this agreement you had between you and Miss Carmen Candy?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Karma is my best friend, and we had an agreement that me and her would have a baby. She would provide me like 500K upfront for my genetic material as a deposit, with the understanding that I'll get $1 million once she got pregnant.
Now, for those
The
who are
terms
unclear, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you please define genetic material?
sperm,
Mm,
seed.
yes,
Skeet.
against the wall.
So like she would give me $1 million once she got pregnant, so it would be like 1.5 altogether. And we were supposed to do it like 3 times a day, but unfortunately, due to ED caused by this immense stress, anxiety, and depression stemming from this $4.6 million being withdrawn from my account, I've been
Mm.
unable to fulfill my obligations to her. This not only has strained our friendship, but it's also opened up me to a potential legal situation for breach of contract. This situation has left me feeling overwhelmed and has compounded the emotional and financial toll this whole ordeal has taken on me.
Oh my God. And so for my final question, and this is the $4.6 million question right here. Um, why do you feel PD is responsible for your stress, anxiety, and ED?
Mm.
Well, PD is entirely responsible for my stress, anxiety, and ED due to their gross negligence.
Your Honor,
Despite a direct
objection. This defendant is not an expert on torts, nor is he a medical professional. We empathize with his medical condition, but he is not of the profession to say that the APD is the direct cause for the ED, as there are multiple causes for ED which have yet to be determined in this admitted evidence.
Sustained. Troublefield, rephrase your question.
That was a motion to strike, Your Honor. This question's fine.
Okay, so I would say it without the ED, okay? But um because of their gross negligence, despite a direct order from the judge to remove the invoice from my account, the PD failed to follow through. Instead, they mistakenly drew the 4.6 million from my account, completely disrupting my life. Yo, someone is shooting outside. Like, y'all want to take care of that?
Don't worry, they got it.
Yeah, they got it.
So this wasn't like a simple mistake. This wasn't an error caused by this was an error caused by a blatant judicial what do you call that? Like oversight. Their
Yeah,
actions
yeah.
started a chain of events that like I'm still suffering from to this day. I had already paid my debts to society, but through this era, the PD has effectively made me pay it again, again, and again every day. This negligence has left me financially and emotionally devastated. Had the PD just done their job and removed the invoice like this lovely judge ordered them to do, none of this would have happened. Their error not only caused financial harm, but also inflicted lasting damage on my mental, emotional, and physical well being.
Mm.
This is why I hold the PD fully responsible for the suffering I'm enduring.
Oh, thank you for your time and your candor, Mr. Mello. I yield to.
Oh, my stomach. Sorry. So, please
All
allow me to
right, just
stand here. I'm standing here simply so that the satellite feed gets the proper angles as the camera system is down in the courtroom. Continue.
yeah. Ugh. Hello, Mr. Vasquez. How are you doing? Just a pleasantry, not a question.
I'm fine.
I'm glad you're doing fine. I understand that you're not a medical expert, Mr. Vasquez. I think the only medical expert standing in here is our lovely judge. Here's my question.
Facts.
Is there more than one way in which a king can unfortunately contract ED? Is that the proper
Objection.
term?
And your grounds for objection?
Well, she just said he ain't a medical expert. Why are you going to ask him like the definition of a medical?
Sustain.
You just
Yeah,
told him he
yeah,
wasn't a
yeah.
medical
Sustain.
Yep.
expert.
Reframe your question, JB. Rephrase.
I reiterate my question because in a general sense, I'm asking him as a general sense from a king's perspective, is there more than one way in which a king can come down with ED? That is not a medical professional question, it's a general one that I believe as a king, he is professional enough in that topic to answer.
I'll allow
Well,
it. He does have a penis and therefore should be pretty well aware of how it works. Mr.
well,
Miller,
I
you are
never
to answer the
experienced it
question.
before, so I couldn't speak to how many ways you can come down
Mm.
with it. I only know the way that it has happened to me, and
I
I've
didn't
spoken
ask
to
you all
that.
of that, Mr. Vasquez. My question was, in general, is there more than one way in which a king can develop ED, erectile dysfunction?
I don't know because I have no experience with erectile dysfunction.
He said it's
Mm.
strong and long.
Your Honor, objection,
You asked the
unresponsive.
question. How you object to the question you asked?
I think she was
I'm
objecting to my comment.
Oh,
no, I was objecting to non-response. He's ducking the question,
he
Your
gave
Honor.
you a response.
I don't know. You
He
can't
did
make
answer
me
the
know
question,
something I
JB.
don't know.
He did
You
answer.
don't?
Continue to the
Okay,
your next
I'll
question.
answer it for you. There
Oh,
is. There's actually several ways in which.
Objection. Now you putting
You
words
can't
in his mouth.
testify.
You can't. Right.
Nope. What we're not
You
gonna
said I'm
do.
gonna answer for you.
no, you didn't.
Objection.
Trouble.
Order in the court. Order in the
She gonna make me
court.
crash out. She gonna make me crash the fuck out.
Now, damn it. This is a
Interesting.
very.
Pretty sure I let him
this is-
sit here and answer
Order
his
in the
questions
court.
uninterrupted.
Both of you, be quiet for 1 second. 2. Let me say this. Now we need to get through these limp dick shenanigans
Your Honor.
quickly.
Oh,
And
objection.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about what's happening right here now. No pun intended. Now,
That was
you
what I was saying.
object. When you object, allow for the judge, that is me, to respond before y'all start arguing back and forth. And once I say what it is, that's it. We move on. Now, Troublefield, do you have an objection? What is the basis for it?
I forgot what I objected to. I was objecting
Okay,
to the
let's
limp
move
dick
on.
comment.
Let's move on. JB,
So,
ask your
with
question.
that, all right. So I've already asked my first question, and keep in mind, this is my witness, Trouble. So you can sit that ass down respectfully.
Yes.
So, of course, since the defendant isn't able to answer a general question, generally there is several ways in which a king can unfortunately come down with erectile dysfunction. Not just one, many. So, Mr. Mello, my second question. Upon noticing these funds missing from your account, when did you notify proper parties within the APD or the DOJ or notify anyone?
Well, it took me a while because I was stunned at first. I didn't know what was happening. Like I said, I thought I was scammed. But once I realized that it was like something to do with the PD, I notified you. Matter of fact.
Mm-hmm. In fact, you did. And, of course, once you notified me, about how long did it take for the money to be reimbursed back into your account?
I don't know. It seemed like hours. I don't know. Like I wasn't wearing a stopwatch. I was like panicking. So like I couldn't tell you that. Clearly, you already have the answer. So go ahead and tell me.
Wow.
That was her third and final question.
No, it wasn't.
It
I
definitely
keep
was.
Yes,
forgetting
that
that
definitely
I'm
was
so
the third
used to being the
question.
plaintiff.
Mr. Rodriguez.
So go on and sit your ass
you are
down.
to speak
Vasquez.
when you are
Vasquez.
Vasquez, sorry. Mr. Vasquez, you are to speak when you are asked a question.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And while we love having you in court, I don't want to have to reprimand you. Troublefield, you get 1 redirect.
So since she wants us to believe they expeditiously returned this money, did they offer anything else with returning your money, like an apology, anything, any well wishes?
No, they actually did never apologize or anything like that. Nothing.
Mm.
Also, APD failed to take accountability yet again. Okay, I'm done with this witness, Your Honor.
You may leave the stand. APD looking at me. Why y'all mad? Why y'all looking at me like that, APD?
Thank you.
I mean, he got a lip
Man,
problem on his
yeah,
side. That's not on us.
yeah, lipstick issues.
Yeah, that's
At
on
this time,
him.
Your Honor, we would
He
like to
don't have
call Miss
enough.
Carmen Candy
He
to
don't
the
have enough
stand.
spawn counters, bro.
Oh, Miss
Dum
Candy,
dum
please come to the stand.
dum.
No problem, Your Honor.
She got a baby.
Where you going?
What
Oh,
she
she
do?
has
She
a
has to
baby?
give the baby back.
Oh,
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 To the
she
oh.
got
mother.
somebody else baby. I said it worked.
Oh, no.
That,
She's desperate to have a baby.
that's my grandbaby. Your Honor.
Okay. Come on
Hi,
up to the
Law.
stand. Now, Miss Candy, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you COA 5MGTA gods.
So help me, COA. God,
Thank you, Jesus. You may be seated.
praise him.
Hey, Miss Carmen. My name is Senator Troublefield. Get the pleasantries out the way. I'm good. You good? We all good, right? All right.
Yes. How are you, Vasquez?
So can you explain to me in detail this contract you had between you and Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, so I have been wanting to have a child of my own. My current children are all adopted, but I wanted to have my own, God-given son or daughter myself. Um,
I
so
can't
and
hear
and
her.
I'm 31. Can you
Can you
hear
go
me?
on shout?
Could you not?
Oh,
Okay.
She on chat?
how,
Tell her how
someone
to
help me.
do it. I don't
How
think
I
she
put on
knows.
shop?
F11 muscle.
Try your F11 muscle.
It's not working.
Hmm.
I can't hear her. Like, I
It's
think
not
she went to
working.
whisper.
Did
Try the squiggly. Hmm.
No. I think she went to whisper. Like, I think she did it too
I
many
don't know
times.
how. I don't know.
It should say shouting at the bottom.
I'm
Flex.
pressing F11. It's not doing anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
my 11 doesn't work. Mine works by the one.
Yeah, the squiggly line by the
y-
number one.
Yeah,
try
that's
the
that's what
squiggly
mine
line
was.
by the number one.
Got it. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes, that is
Okay.
better.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry about that.
All right. You may begin
Um.
again.
Okay, so yes, I wanted to have a child of my own. All my current children are currently adopted, However, I'm 31 years old, so my biological time clock is ticking. So
Mm.
I wanted to go ahead. I felt like I just moved into my new home. I felt like I was ready to just go ahead and take that next step. And Mr. Vasquez being my best friend, I felt like he would be the perfect decision and choice, and if I was going to do this methodically, have a child this way. And not only that, we have a very close friendship. So I agreed to pay him 500K as a deposit, and then I would pay him the remaining balance, which would have been the 1 mil, which would have totaled to 1.5 mil in total for him, just doing this for me, because I know this is a lot to ask for. And even if I wanted to go to a sperm bank to do it, it would have cost me the same amount with someone I don't even know who, I don't even know who that person is or what type of person that guy would have been. So I rather just go with someone I know and trust. And so, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that answer.
Yeah, no
Now,
problem.
what qualities actually drew you to Mr. Vasquez? Could you tell us about
Oh,
that?
yeah. Well, me and Mr. Vasquez are
Objection
very close.
relevance. Keep in mind, Your Honor, that this is a tort regarding a transaction that occurred between the APD and Carmelo Vasquez. And of course, I respect this queen's reproductive rights and methods, but how does it hold relevance to the trial at hand?
Ah,
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. It speaks to the validity of the contract between the two of them. You may answer the question.
Well, since his impotence is affecting like his life because of the harms done against APD, it's affecting his deals that he's also made with me. 500K is a lot of money that I've given him to do this with me, and so even like with his side dealings, like it's affecting his life, which is affecting my life. So I kind of want the because I can't. It's not. He's just not getting it up, and so if he's not getting it, how am I going to get my baby that I essentially made this verbal agreement with him to do? So I think that covers, you know,
Now,
why
and I,
APD
I,
is responsible
I
for that.
gotcha. Now I hate this. We're gonna have to start talking bedroom talk now. How many times did y'all try to copulate before y'all just called
Um,
it quits?
What the?
Objection, Your Honor. This is going entirely
Jesus.
off of the
oh,
rails. This
Let her
is
ride.
a
Let her
matter
ride.
of tort and
You
liability.
don't want to go there, JB.
I
Overruled.
especially don't want
I
to go where
want the
you're trying to
tea.
go.
Overruled. The judge wants the tea, and so does the rest of the courtroom. You may answer
Biscuits
the
and gravy, Your
question.
Honor.
Jeez.
so we've been
Sit
copulating
down.
3 times a week for I want to say as long as this case has been going on. And because we were it was my idea to do this um shortly before the incident even happened. So this incident happening is really inconvenient to the deal and the verbal agreement that we made to do this.
And for the $4.6 million question, how many times when y'all were doing this did my client have to rely on honey packs just to,
So this
get it up?
honey pack addiction, it really has been going on for some weeks now. I can't give a ultimate number because I mean I'm just catching this. I had to drag him out of the pharmacy literally I think sometime last week. It's really getting out of hand. I don't know if he is compensating for something. He's not usually even like this. So I don't know, and it's honestly scaring me because I did make a deal with him, and I didn't realize that a lot of things would domino effect in between, as long as I've known this man for years. And this is the first time I've ever really seen his mental health decline, his financial status decline. He hasn't really been himself, and honestly it's kind of affecting our friendship in which he shows up for my children and everything. So it's just really affecting his day-to-day life, which is affecting the people around him.
There's a lot waiting on this, I see. No more
Yeah.
questions for the witness, Your Honor.
Damn. RP to my uncle
Balthazar,
Leroy.
you get 3 questions on the redirect. On the cross examination, I mean.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Hi there, Miss Candy. How are you today?
I am
Concentrate,
great,
not a
Miss
question.
Belbazar. How are you? I'm good.
I'm doing great, and of course, I want to state that I'm very sorry for the inconveniences and delays that
Oh no,
have
no
occurred to
problem.
your to your attempts to reproduce naturally on your own.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you,
Yes, ma'am.
your arrangement was consensual procreation with Mr. Vasquez,
Mr.
correct?
The
Yes,
boy.
Mr. Vasquez.
Okay.
Yes.
And if I may ask, was this procedure going to be through in vitro insemination or ex vitro insemination? And I can,
No. Oh, you can. I'm sorry for cutting off. Go ahead.
you're good. If you already know what that is, you can answer.
Oh, it was, yeah, gonna be through the natural way. I mean, I feel like the in vitro fertilization, I don't feel as if he's, a ugly guy or anything for me not to be able to.
Okay,
And we've known
just
each other for a while, so.
so this is an elaboration to make it very clear to the court. So, long story short, to clarify the question I just asked you, you guys were going to conceive the old hankety pankety way, boom boom room, leg up, the old fashioned way.
Somebody's knocking, rocking the
Well, I
boots.
mean, I wouldn't say with my leg up. I mean, I have fibroids, so I have to be very careful about. But just, yep, the old-fashioned way, the way my grandmama would do it.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And this may seem like an unusual question, but it does have to be answered nonetheless.
Yes, ma'am.
And now this is my third question, would Jason Castro have been there?
Who's Jason Castro?
The officer who erroneously
Objection! Why would the cop be in their bedroom?
It sounds like that's a question she should answer.
Who is Jason Castro?
I'll allow it.
Nobody.
But JB,
That's great.
please make sure you land this plane. Where are you?
I have one more question, Your Honor.
This is your last question.
I know, I have one more question. So, without all the spectacle, I asked you, was Jason Castro going to be in your bedroom? Now, to explain to you, Jason Castro is the one who erroneously invoiced Mr. Vasquez. So, that's that officer. Would he have been in your bedroom during any of these procreation attempts? Had this invoice never happened, would he have been in your bedroom during these attempts?
No, I usually don't like a crowd when I'm trying to, get hot and heavy, Miss JB.
Nobody does. So, funny enough, this is actually covered by a law. It's a violation, actually. Prevention or derailment of reproductive rights. It's actually a saying. So my last question.
That was your last question.
That was your third question, Miss P.
You only get 3. You only get 3. No, I get 4. You get 3.
I'm so used to being a prosecutor.
Yes.
All right,
take your ladder since you want to read so bad and sit your ass down.
Wow.
I'm not done. I'm not done. Excuse you.
Troublefield, first of all, order in the court. Troublefield, go sit your ass down at the defense. You don't tell the attorney how many questions they get. I do. And just because you want to be the smart ass, JBL allow you to ask your question.
Okay.
Go sit down.
This is bullshit.
I won't ask the fourth question, but I do appreciate you for giving me that opportunity, Your Honor. I won't need it. So the witness did just confirm that Mr. Castro did not have an invite to the bedroom party that this child would have been, conceived in. So keep in mind that prevention of reproduction, that can only occur through direct intervention, right? So with that being said, Mr. Castro would never have been invited into their bedroom. He was not invited into their bedroom. He was not there in order to intervene in any way physically them exercising their reproductive attempts. He had no access to block their reproductive attempts. And I feel terrible for this queen whose reproductive rights have been put on hold due to the medical ineptitudes of Mr. Vasquez, but keep in mind, tort liability and prevention of reproduction can only be done directly. So unless he physically prevented Mr. Vasquez and Miss Candy from coupling, we cannot pass the tort of liability preventing her reproductive rights onto Mr. Castro. So with that being said, I do kindly move to strike the witness's testimony up into the end of her explaining their contract, as legally Officer Castro nor the APD can be held liable for her being unable to procreate, as it was not done through direct intervention. But of course, all of her other answers are probable to the fact of the contract.
Can I say something to that?
No, you can't.
Oh,
Not
sorry.
unless your attorney directs you on that.
You know what?
You
Hey,
get
Miss
one more
Carmen,
question.
my
Oh.
final question. What would you like to say to that?
Oh,
So I just feel
Smart,
as
smart
if
man.
if we did it 3 times a week, which is usually on the weekend, how would he be able to be there every time, as if like he worked as like a professional sex watcher? Like, and he would be on time for every time I felt
I got
like
the wrong
bending my
job.
ass over? I don't know if that is actually in his job description for him to be an on-call pussy watcher for my explorative and reproductive rights. I
he
don't feel,
want that
and
job.
if he would want that job, I didn't have the money to pay that, and that wasn't upon the verbal agreement. So I just feel like any indirect damage that he's done is his responsibility. The fact that my best friend can't get it up for me anymore because of his lack of funds, because he knows I do really appreciate the fact that he could take care of my child, like I said, and I trust that he could take care of my child because he's not only intelligent, but he's very financially smart, established, and disciplined. And if that is taken from him, how is he able to carry on those characteristics of being a provider, to be able to have financial stability? How would he be able to do that for me if it's depleted, and if it was depleted from him in one lump sum? So I
Yeah.
feel like indirect damage is direct damage. It's also the same as in psychology. PTSD, for you to be affected by something, it can also
Your Honor,
acute
objection,
PTSD.
unless
Shut the hell up,
is
JB. She's still talking.
acute PTSD are
Hold on,
things that
everybody.
happen within 90
Everybody,
days,
hold
and
on. Stop. Witness, stop.
long-term PTSD
Stop.
can be found later on, years on. Either way,
No, 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 no,
PTSD is
no,
also
no,
a
no,
symptom.
no, no,
Sorry,
no.
You gotta stop.
sorry.
I'm
Your Honor.
about to hold you in contempt. As fine as you are, I
Booker.
will put you downstairs. Now sit down. Sustain, JB. She is not a professional and she cannot speak on PTSD. She can only speak to her experience. Now, I think you have sufficiently answered the question, and don't look at me like that, Troublefield. You are excused.
Yeah.
So just
When
to
she talked
clarify,
about, I want to have a
she
baby. God
she did the
damn.
damn thing on the stand.
I study
I know.
psychology
I
at
want to
Georgia
have a
State
baby next.
University. I
Yeah,
graduated in
she
May.
did that.
I got you. But
Yeah,
he didn't
sorry.
call you as an expert witness, so that's
Sorry, I'm sorry. I
just
just
for the
had
future. Yeah. You're excused. Excellent job, by the way.
Close the statements. Let's go.
All right. And defense, do you rest? Do you have any more witnesses? I mean, plaintiff, do you rest? Do you have any more witnesses to call? Troublefield?
Is Officer Castro here?
Officer Castro? Is Officer Castro here?
Nope.
He is not.
Guess not. Okay, well, the defense restaurant.
All right. All right, Carmen, you are dismissed. You can leave the stand.
Yes, and please also excuse me for getting out of line, Your Honor. It wasn't my intention, but
It's
thank you so
okay.
much.
It happens. It happens. Thank
Sorry.
you.
All right, yes, ma'am.
It is now the prosecution's turn. JB, do you have any witnesses you'd like to call to the stand?
No, I would not, Your Honor. I'm gonna be using this phase purely evidentiary, as I do not have any, Actually, Your Honor, I would like to recall, Miss Candy back to the stand.
We will also note that she will be treated as a hostile witness, as she is a witness for the plaintiff. Miss Candy, we'll swear you in again. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you COA, 5M, and GTA gods.
Yes, ma'am.
Hallelujah.
I swear.
JB, you have 4 questions. You may proceed.
Hi there, Miss Candy. Just following up on your previous testimony, you made it clear Mr. Castro wasn't going to be up in your bedroom. He sure wasn't. Is that right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I mean, I don't perform with eyes. If a comfort thing.
I mean, who does besides exhibitionists?
What are you talking about?
So with that being said, Mr. Castro would never have been in any position to intervene directly to prevent you and Mr. Vasquez from coupling. Is that right?
Repeat the question.
Mr. Castro would not have been in your bedroom in order to prevent the coupling of you and Mr. Vasquez.
Well, I wouldn't say that because obviously he didn't have to do that to.
I understand. I'm asking if he would have been in the bedroom to prevent it.
If he was there uninvited, that would have not prevented yet, or that would have prevented it, because I don't appreciate other people in my sexual business. For speaking,
Right.
him being literally invited into the room to watch.
But he was not, right?
Right, as in you implored.
So
that
without
he should be, I guess.
So without an invite, he would not have been there. This is now my third question. Without an invite, he would not have been there when you and Mr. Vasquez coupled. Is that correct?
Well, he wouldn't be there with an invite. There would have been no invite to watch the coupling. There's no invite to coupling with me.
Okay, and elaborating on my third question, without an invite, he would not have been there. Is that correct?
With or without the invite, he wouldn't have been there. It wouldn't have happened.
Understandable. So if Mr. Castro would not have in any way been there, how would he have directly intervened with the coupling of you and Mr. Vasquez if he was not there? He couldn't have.
Well, like I stated in my last statement, JB, he directly affected it.
I understand, but unfortunately, indirectly, as to how you feel about it, is not written within our laws, and that is all the questions I have for this witness.
Hey, Miss Carmen, it's
3 on a cross direct.
cool. Hey, Miss Carmen, it's good to see you again. I'm good. You good? We all good. I do have a question. So,
yeah,
JB is trying to put this man in your bedroom that ain't supposed to be in there. Have you, at any point in your life, in your own personal opinion, had anything from the outside world influence how you performed in the bedroom?
I mean,
okay, so let's say you had a bad day at work. Would that affect your performance in the bedroom?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
something totally unrelated.
Like anything. Okay. I feel like anything outer worldly that would affect your mood in a mental state, which would affect the way your brain fires the neurons to make you act. Yes, that does directly affect how you perform physically.
Yes. Okay. Good. Give me a second. Oh, I ain't got no more questions because she is just full of shit today.
Lord.
Cognitive processing affects your behavioral actions and physicality.
Okay. JB, do you have any? I got you. JB, do you have a redirect? One question and then closing arguments. Oh, I'm sorry. And then it turns over to the defense.
Yes. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Would Mr. Castro have been in any position to physically prevent you and Mr. Vasquez from coupling?
Yes.
Objection. Asked and answered 18 million times.
Sustained.
I thought this was a redirect. I redirected a question I asked that you tried to derail from. If I want to waste my one question asking a question, then so be it.
Carry on.
And you just did. She already answered it.
Understood. She did answer.
Would you like to summarize, JB, quickly, please?
Yes. So now, well, first I want to check it. Are we into the defense phase?
We are. This is your witness.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. So, Shelby, you can sit that ass down. Um, and of course, Miss Candy, I no longer have any questions for you. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
You can sit down for real
you are
now.
dismissed.
Thank you.
Okay, JB, you got about a minute
Sorry.
left before we need to go to closing arguments.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like to direct you to the live courtroom 1. I shared a document in there. This document is actually the timesheet from the 26th all the way to the day. And I'll just give you guys a couple of seconds to hop in there. And I bring you in there to observe. Mr. Castro has not been at work since the 26th. So keep in mind that it's not as simple as just canceling an invoice. You actually have to notify a higher up and they have to cancel it. And I would also like to direct the court to what happened a little while earlier. Remember when they were shooting and all these lovely boys in blue ran out? Now, I would like to preface you that the day that this invoice happened, it was the busiest, most crowded day in the courthouse. We had high-profile cases going on. There was a lot of people there. And yes, the officer was ordered to cancel the invoice. But keep in mind, during that time, we had arrests, trials, spectacles. They were shooting fireworks in one direction and popping off shots in another direction. And of course, keep in mind that emergency calls take priority over non-emergency calls. And then in addition to that, the officer, he didn't come back to work. So this invoice was left to sit for a while. And unfortunately, as you can see in the timesheets, Mr. Castro has not been back to work. So as soon as Mr. Vasquez notified myself of the error, I immediately reached out to the chief of PD, who then stopped what she was dreaming about, took an expeditious plane into the city, and reimbursed Mr. Vasquez as quickly as he could. And while the APD may not have took it further by locating him and dropping to their knees and apologizing profusely, I did apologize on behalf of the APD for the inconvenience. Now, one thing that I want to direct the court from is all this spectacle and pomp and posture. We all feel for Mr. Vasquez. Losing your ability to sexually perform is terrible. But keep in mind, prevention of reproduction by law is only something that can happen through direct intervention. That means that Castro would have had to have been inside of the room, physically preventing them from coupling in order for this to apply. Now, we can't sit here and blame him for the rain and the rise in taxes and all the like that happened thereafter this invoice. It happened, it was corrected, and it seems like this $20 million price tag is being put more so on an apology than the actual act. Because keep in mind what the defense has yet to do. They have yet to prove anything beyond compensatory damages, which would only be $1.5 million off $1.5 million, which was already offered and declined.
Okay, JB, you are in a closing argument territory. I think we have the evidence.
That was closing, opening for the next case and closing for the next case too.
That
Shit.
was not a closing statement. That was me explaining the law as it stands.
That wasn't your closing?
And
All right,
no,
let's go.
it wasn't.
All right, let's move on to closing statements. think JB did an amazing job of explaining the evidence.
Oh
Troublefield,
shit.
closing statements. Let's keep it to 30 seconds. Both sides.
I get 30 seconds, but she get 30 minutes.
You had a whole prosecution phase if you don't shut
JB
the fuck
ain't
up and
talking
get
to you.
closing.
JB ain't talking to
Let's
you.
get it started. I will
Good,
hold
talk to
both
the
of you in
lawyers.
contempt.
I'll go to jail. JB,
Oh
you
my
better shut the
God.
hell up.
Troublefield.
Yes, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the DA, she wants to talk about directly influenced copulation and all them big words she uses, but all she wants to hit on is a symptom of ED. ED derives from stress, anxiety, all of which was caused by Officer Castro. No, he wasn't in the bedroom, thank God, but his actions. When the judge told him to fix that mistake, everything outside this courtroom is irrelevant. They have already admitted they were wrong. All they offered up was a shitty, I'm sorry, here's your money back, have a nice day. The money he's asking for is not compensatory, it's for punitive damages. For whatever the judge says goes. Let's uphold the judge's rule. This is our courtroom. This ain't APD house. This is my house, goddammit. And I rest my case.
Oh, he better come powerful. Trying to butter up the judge.
God damn it.
JB, 30
That's okay.
seconds and 30 seconds only.
We can serve up something nice and delicious without all that damn butter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a simple matter of law and tort. Tort means that your negligence has to have been the direct cause of something expensive happening. The direct cause, not what you feel is the direct cause, not what the plaintiff feels is the direct cause, not what the witness feels is the direct cause, but what the law states is the direct cause. The only way that contract couldn't have gotten fulfilled is if someone was in there stopping it from happening. Mr. Castro has not been at work since the 26th, and soon as this error was brought to our attention, there was no delay. There was no neglect. It was dealt with expeditious. They're just asking for $20 million just because they can, just because there wasn't enough groveling or apologizing. It was an honest human error. And if we had to sit there and cough up $20 million for an honest human error, where would we be today? Because keep in mind, if he was really fighting for what he was owed, he would have took the $1.5 million settlement when it was offered. He denied it in face of mammonism and opportunism.
Your 30 seconds is up.
That's all I needed to say.
All right. It's time for myself and the Jury Advisory Committee to deliberate. Court is in recess until we return. Gentlemen and lady. All right, guys. Make sure you're all on whisper, including myself.
Hold on, you can get the seat right here. Get closer to the judge.
Okay. So here are the instructions. We are, first of all, we need to know if the main question is Officer Carter liable for Mello's impotence and his limp dick? That's the first question I would like for you guys to debate about and then advise me on.
Well,
Especially since I don't have a dick, so I need to understand
exactly.
So
So
I put it this way, you know. Okay, like I can't say, you know. I mean, imagine us, you know. It's all you look at your bank account and it's depleted, you know, and then you say something about it. The judge tell you to do something that isn't done right then and there. It should kind of be, you know, especially for an amount of money that large. It's kind of, you know, it is life altering.
It is.
I mean, we all could imagine that happens to us in here, you know. as well. So I mean,
Yes, I say yes. It
just
is
the
directly
fact that you
responsible,
ruled on that judge was something in itself.
and
Hmm.
not only that, but a lot of guys who come back from war suffer from ED. And the Taliban or ISIS is not directly in their
It's
bedroom,
the
but it's the
stress.
cause. Yes, it's the stress of it,
Mm.
the anxiety of it.
Understood.
Now I ain't gonna say it's $20 million of stress, but
Yeah, that's what I disagree
it's
with.
it's it
I'll meet him
is
Mm.
halfway.
The
life
I'm willing to
stress.
meet him
altering.
halfway. Yeah, I'm willing to meet him halfway at 10.
He they. I mean, I put it this way: being that okay, us with the law enforcement and DOJ, we on top of the citizens about how they behave, and we make sure they get the proper punishment when they come in here. We have to look at it from a standpoint of okay, what could happen to us on our job if we made a mistake like that? Even though
Hmm.
we not calling for nobody to get fired, even though we feel that's what happened to us, but they got to give him something, and I ain't, they do have to, you know,
Yeah, 20 million is too lot. It's too much. I'll meet him halfway at 10.
I
Now,
agree.
Would you say, object?
I agree. It should
Oh,
be that.
okay.
It shouldn't. It's not that.
okay, so you do think that the officer's mistake did cause some stress to the plaintiff in regards to him now not being able to get his dick up.
I'm not
I
gonna say.
mean, yeah,
I'm.
because I mean, it ain't necessarily him having to be in the bedroom or anything, but if he's the
Yeah.
one who wrote the summons that
Hmm.
end up causing the bank account to be deleted, I mean, that's his involvement, not
Can
Yeah.
it
necessarily
be
in the bedroom.
also? Did anyone
Hmm.
bring to
Not to say he
and
did
then
it on purpose, but
this
he's
is my
just responsible.
question. I get it. Here's what comes to my mind immediately. The DA did ask, are there other factors that would cause erectile dysfunction? Is he seeing
Just
someone else? Is the woman, did she smell good? Is she the same weight and size as she was before? Did his taste in women change? Is he gay? Does he like the punani? There are
um,
so many
uh,
factors in that, and that's what we do have to take into consideration what the DA said.
we
And
do,
my
Your
thing
Honor,
is,
but if everything was going smoothly until this happened, that's
my
the
thing is,
thing.
it's kind of weird to ask your best friend to give you a baby when you're just friends. It shouldn't even cross
If
your
that's
Whether
the
or
mind.
not
case,
the
if the attraction
surrogacy,
was there before, why all of a
Yeah.
sudden there's this problem? And why not take, if the contract was for 500K, why not take the 1 million.5 that was offered? Why then try to bring a noose around the court's throat for 60 million? There seems to be
Well, the
something
embarrassment.
more afoot. He embarrassed himself by bringing this in here. He never had to put that into the filing that his dick didn't get hard.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like we're sitting here thinking about stuff that could have, would have been. What if it was too cold? What if it was too hot? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
only thing I can do is off what was presented and whether or not it's reasonable. And so far, what he presented for the reason of his ED is reasonable.
What about
Four
what
point
the
six million dollars. I'm not clapping cheeks if I lose $100. So $4.6 million, I could just imagine.
Now
what
let's
what what
also,
what
you
I
have
think
to
that
weigh both
what
sides. You have to weigh both sides.
And I am
I am, and I get what, but I feel like the DA kind of stuck on him actually being in the bedroom instead of
directly.
attacking how he made the mistake with writing
Hmm.
the invoice.
And
I
not
I
only
agree.
get
that,
what
but
she was trying to do. I get what she was trying to do, and it was smart, but it just didn't fit at the time when they
I
said,
agree.
okay, they were pointing the finger at him for writing it. It
I
wasn't
agree.
necessarily his actual bedroom involved.
Now remember,
So that was the thing right there.
and not
this
only that,
is
but
So,
she
but I
showed.
get what she was trying to do, though.
Hmm. Right.
It's smart, it's
now
tactical,
remember,
but
this is a teaching courtroom, and there's been many times where I've guided everyone in this room, even in the courtroom floor. So I also guide you in the jury room as well, because we're dealing with a real, this real police department's
Correct.
thing.
Correct.
So, number one, if you are going to bring up erectile dysfunction, there's a myriad of reasons. The man's romantic history was not looked into or brought to the court. Now, I'm not going to throw that on the table for consideration here, but I want you guys to think about that for future cases. Also, I also did a little investigating as I was told that the state would not have representation, and so I pulled evidence from the APD to corroborate the claims within the filing. And here's my main question. Forget about who's in the bedroom, was the officer, was he that sensitive that what happened with the officer, and on and on and on and on.
Right.
I have a bank account, we all have bank accounts. If someone made that egregious of an error and it was spoken to on that at that time, would you or would you not check the very next day to make sure your account was affected, or would you just leave it alone? Would you not
I
look?
would check
Would you check? When would you check?
immediately.
Immediately. But,
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
that's what.
income not in my
immediately, and
bank
that's
and I
what he
don't know
did, and
about.
he
I'm gonna
alarmed
check
you, the
that.
judge. So he probably thought, and I'm not thinking for
No,
him.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
You're getting it mixed up. When the officer did it, and it
Okay.
flashed across his screen, he shouted out to me, "Judge, this is an error." I said, "Fix it." The officer, then shots rang out, or everybody ran. If you were him, would you, on the next day of flying into the city and going about your business, the moment you woke up, would this be on your mind?
Oh yeah, I would
Would
have said
you
something
check
definitely.
your bank
Yeah,
account the
yeah,
next day?
So hold on.
yeah.
What,
I'd
what,
have said something
when
definitely.
when did he go to jail? I wasn't in the city at that time.
He didn't go to
He
jail.
didn't go to jail. I said things happened in the city. Like after that, when I told the officer to correct it, shots rang out, the officers ran out. It was shenanigans that day. The question is, stay with me. As a person with a bank account, if someone made a multi-million-dollar mistake on your bank account, when would you next check your statement? When would you go to the ATM and say, "What the fuck? I want to make sure they corrected this"? When would you do that?
No,
The next
we
day.
answered that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when was the money taken. I was not a part of the
Okay, the
city.
next day. I'm going to answer your question. So the
Okay,
money was taken on December 27th.
I didn't hear it.
The,
Somebody knocked it.
the money was taken on December 27th. What the
Somebody
what?
knocked
The money was taken on December 27th. The defendant did not check his bank until January 19th and brought it to everyone's attention. And that is where I'm stuck. You would wait from December 27th. You didn't check your bank account on the 28th. You didn't check it on the 29th. You didn't check it on the 30th or
Okay.
the 31st.
You
You
didn't
didn't check
check
it on the
it.
1st. You didn't check it on the 2nd.
No, I would have
3rd,
checked it
4th,
definitely,
5th,
but
6th,
what?
7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 11,
You let
12,
it go for
13,
so
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And on the day of the 19th, that's when you said your bank account was overdrawn. You couldn't get it up. All of this happened on the 19th. If you follow the facts of the numbers, they never lie, and then apply human behavior to it. You each said you would have checked the very next day. Had he checked the very next day and notified the court, the error would have been immediately rectified. Immediately, because that's how we do
True.
things.
Question. Um, and this could be relevant for different cases or whatever as well. Is it a way we could check logs to see that it wasn't until he flew back in? You know, was he in the city the next day, or
Yes,
you know,
because
just
we have the records of when money is sent out
okay, that's cool.
and given
Yeah,
to people.
that's
Just like
cool then.
I know every single transaction I made with you. It's there. And these are the records that I went over with the chief today when I thought there wouldn't be a prosecutor here.
I'm just making sure for future case relevance or whatever.
So it would
You know,
stand to reason then, in my line of thinking, and this is where I need your advice on, it would stand to reason then that Mr. Castro is no way liable for this man's limp dick, but his own laziness. He just thought, oh my God, yeah, well, they said they're going to correct it. They corrected it. But everyone in this room said we checked the next day to make sure. Because that is not a $100 mistake. It's not a $200 mistake. It was a multi-million-dollar mistake. Now, that being said, Do you feel like the APD owes this man any money?
Um, yes. I'm not gonna say they owe him, like I had said, the full $20 million amount, and I didn't give a dollar amount of what he should get. But I am saying that it did happen. It isn't like he's making it up that this money came up missing from his account. You know, I understand there are shenanigans. I do. But
20 million is
and
too
I
much.
understand that we can only do so much too. So it's like I understand both sides of it, but the fact that it actually did happen to him, um, and on the record you're on there telling them to fix it, which is like an obedience brought to it. I understand there was a shots fired ordeal. I mean, I see both sides of it, but
How
I do
much?
feel he
How much
owes.
does the? How much
I,
does?
I
How
can't
much
put
are
a
honey?
dollar figure on this.
How much are
I'll
honey
leave that
packs?
up to you.
How much are honey packs? Does anyone know how much?
I
honey
have no
packs
idea. I ain't
Me
had to
neither.
buy none. I got it
Yeah.
natural.
Okay.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
I
I had
also
I had to
agree
buy the
that
100 bucks.
there should be a person should have trust in their system. If we say we're going to fix something, we should fix it. We are definitely liable to fix it. And playing devil's advocate in this jury room, it's as a teaching exercise, and it's to understand and get you guys to be able to strategize and do better on your cases, as well as to help me decide what's the best course of action in these cases. I do agree with you. There is culpability here. We need to all be held accountable for mistakes when they happen and not drop the ball. That officer should have made sure that that was taken care of, because again, it was multi-million dollars, right?
Yeah, it just means somebody can't count your officer if it was supposed to be 400,000 and they took 4 million.
Yeah. And how much was his contract with Miss Carmen? 500K.
1.5.
It was supposed to be for $1 million, and she gave him half up front.
Okay.
That's
No,
why she upset.
she was
Alright.
gonna give another. She was gonna give him $1 million after the baby was born, so it's 1.5
Yes.
million.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, if you could please make sure that you put. I'm going to open up this case ticket. Put your invoices for tonight in the ticket, so I can get you guys paid.
Now, Judge, if you want to put an extra zero on mine, I
I'm not
appreciate
putting no
you.
extra zeros.
Not
You
just
got
part
me
of
broke too.
Not kidding. I ain't seen it close since y'all leave.
Hopefully.
All right, all
Nah,
rise.
I'm saying let me tell you close since y'all leave.
We've come to a decision. Mello, this decision did not come lightly, as you can tell by the amount of time we spent deliberating. The advisory and myself, while divided, there's some points we agreed on and some points we did not agree on. However, we all think it was a chess match well played between the prosecution and the defense, or the plaintiff and the defense. Here's what we find. The main question is Castro liable for Mello's limp dick, his impotence, and his inability to perform in the bedroom? Some said yes, some said no, but at the end of the day, there was two things that we had to consider. Human error, and are we responsible when we make an error? The answer is yes. We are responsible when we make an error. Is it an error worth $60 million? No. Is it an error worth $20 million? No. I want to bring something to your attention, Mr. Mello. According to financial records, the error was made by Officer Castro on December 27th. You did not notify the court until January 19th. And that same day, we got you back your money. We all agreed that had an error been made like that on our accounts, the very next day, second moment we opened our eyes, we would have checked our bank account, running and screaming to the bank. You did not do
No,
that.
that's not what happened.
According to the records that we have, that's what it said. Now, all manner of things could have happened in between there and so on and so forth, but this is the records that we're looking at.
No, I'm saying you missed.
We hold on, Mr. No, there's no talking while I'm talking. This is not time for you to speak. December 27th is when the transaction happened. January 19th is when it was brought to our attention, or to the chief of police's attention, that
Okay,
the
but
error
so
had
Your
not
Your
been
Honor,
reversed.
on that actual,
I will hold you in contempt. Let me finish what I'm saying. It's not y'all had all fucking afternoon, B. Now, judgment is for the plaintiff. You are to be awarded $250,000.
I know you fucking lying.
But that's
So
not
let
even
it
what
be
happened.
written. So let it be done.
Like that's not
The
even
money,
Officer,
the,
please make
the
sure
day
that
he
you
brought it,
pay. That's it. You want to be held in contempt, Troublefield? He gets $250,000. That's it. That's all. I don't have any receipts. I have nothing except words and all of this.
did you read the discovery with all the
I
evidence?
read the
I'll give
discovery.
him money.
Where's the contracts? Where's the receipts? Where's the money? Where is the contract? There is none of that. I am being
For
kind.
the record, this is some
I am
bullshit.
being kind by giving him $250,000 without the first receipt to
This
show
is a
thoroughly,
slap in every
to
defendant's
show
face in this city.
anything. Now,
This is what the justice system thinks of us.
that's
It's
what we
just us
think
out
of
here.
this court.
But they
It's
even
just us.
misinterpret the evidence. Like it didn't come out on the 27th. It came out on the 19th.
Again, I
The
will let you
invoice-
know, I will say to this to you.
250,000. We got it.
$250,000. You did not provide one receipt. You did not provide a contract that stated. You didn't even show us where you paid, where Miss Candy paid you, and that's where it counts. Everything else is he say, she say. In this court, we go by the numbers, receipts, transactions. Everything else is how you feel. And we don't base our laws on your feelings. Bring me receipts. You had none. So I gave you how the court felt and what the APD would allow. And trust me, it was a lot to get them to that number. Now, let this be a lesson to all of our attorneys. When you bring a civil suit, bring receipts along with your feelings. Because if you want punitive damage, if you want compensation for your pain and your suffering, show me how much it cost. Bring me the hospital bill. Bring me the psychologist's analysis. Bring me some expert witnesses who have charged you a fee for their expert testimony. Bring me the receipt for the honey packs that you bought. Was it $1,500 for 7 weeks of honey packing it up? This was only December 27th to the 19th. How much honey packs did you buy between the 27th and the 19th? I don't know, because I don't have no receipts. So I can't give you no money for that. Oh, look, child, my stomach, it made my stomach hurt. Let me eat something. Now, we're done with this case. Let's move on.
I give him the 250.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give him 250. Yeah.
Now, I hope
Can we pay him now?
Yes.
Yo, can we pay now? Yo, he got my boy. I'm gonna give you this for cash, all right?
All right.
What's your pockets?
177.
177. There you go, my boy. He be smooth.
A nice reimbursement for the money packs right there.
Officers, you are not. Stop antagonizing him. Now, damn it.
Come on, Judge. It's double O. You know I had to say something.
Oh, double O.
Yeah, just have to get it out.
Oh. All right. So, Both Troublefield and the defendant has thrown a tantrum. I guess next will be being sued because he didn't have a receipt and now he still can't get it up. Listen, this court is not the place to try to blame us for your bodily functions. And DA, I think you could have done better with that strategy because there was a myriad of reasons why he wasn't attracted to that woman. As beautiful as she is, we don't know. I think you would have been, but you could have brought that out. Anyway, let's get to these arraignments so we can get the hell up out of here. Officers, do we have anyone downstairs?
No.
All right. Is Desto Chamberlain here? Do we have a Desto Chamberlain? Do we have a JT Lucas? He should be on a hut anyway. No JT Lucas. Do we have a Wu Gambino? No Wu? All right. Court is adjourned. Thank you all for your service.
Just got paid Friday night.
And y'all stop gloating.
Hey, cause
Y'all
I was
stop
about to say
gloating.
if
talking
we
about stop
if we
blowing
was
like
the
that man
problem
blaming
for
us for
his
something.
You
we
want
can't do.
20
his
M?
ED, oh my, 20
Well,
M's.
it was the error.
Listen, I'm glad we reimbursed his $250K for his damn hoodie packs.
I had that
got his
in
money back.
cash. That's
The
baby
error
weed.
was
Yep,
he wasn't
I
ready.
got that.
That's the
I
error.
got that with lint, Judge.
See, this is why people don't like y'all.
That chump change.
Y'all
That
should-
chump change.
This is
and
why
that's
they don't
glad
like
they not.
y'all now.
That's chump
They not
change.
supposed to like us. You know what I mean? We take them all down.
Listen,
They
he
do,
gonna
you know
be
what I'm
all
saying?
right.
I'm at 20 M's. Man,
20
it's
M's.
He
crazy.
Oh my
was 60.
God.
I don't know who he thought he was.
He said 60 at first.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the?
It was a lot. But again,
This is wild.
you know, the court has to be fair. The error was made, so there was some culpability on our part or on the Justice Department's part with our accounting. It shouldn't have been that long. We should have recognized that error. That officer should have, when he knew there was a mistake made, he should have went and corrected it. Even if things was going on, it was his responsibility to correct it, and that's why he was liable. Now, for all the dick shenanigans, I don't know. I don't have a penis. But the men in the room with a penis said that that type of stress can affect performance. But the DA brought up that other things could also affect performance, like maybe, she wasn't smelling right those couple of days.
Hey, he
Maybe
probably
Listen,
she
wasn't
gained
Judge.
some weight.
He got a
There's
low
whole
count.
bunch of
No.
things.
He got
I
low
gotta say
count.
one
He got
thing.
low
I
count.
gotta say one thing.
Yeah.
She jumped off that chair right there, jumped towards me. I got a big whoop of something.
You know what, double?
And
I'm done with y'all.
shit.
No,
I gotta
no.
say too, they was fucking
Hey,
free
so,
I'm
for
not
I
doing
mean,
that
that with
long.
y'all. No. Lando, you good?
It might make sense.
He got a low count, bro.
So we gotta wait for the next court case here. I think you're next.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, that Mountain Dew drinking. That's what.
Sir, what's your name?
My name is Desto Chamberlain.
Oh, you're late. We already adjourned court. We called you about a couple minutes ago.
Oh no, we've been in here the whole time.
We've been in here. What?
You didn't hear me
No.
when I just called your name?
Yeah,
I didn't. I'm sorry.
I heard you call my name, but I didn't. I thought you was doing this case already. They were already in here sitting down.
We were here for the whole other case.
We were here for the whole case.
Okay.
Yeah, just
That's
go ahead and come.
Okay, we're gonna open up court back. Officers, can y'all remain for a second? Desto Chamberlain is here. We're gonna do his arraignment really quickly.
Huh?
Yeah, he was here. Mr. Chamberlain, can you step forward?
Oh, used to get off skin.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record?
Desto Chamberlain.
All right, Mr. Chamberlain. The DA is now going to tell you and I what you're being charged with, and what they have on you as far as evidence is concerned, and then you and I will have a conversation. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. DA, what are we looking at?
I have a question.
Not yet, sir.
It's fraud, Judge. That's all.
Oh my goodness, hold on a second. My apologies. Alright, are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
Alright, the defendant had, or excuse me, the defendant is facing PC 2-809, brandishing PC 2-802, criminal possession of a firearm class 2, and PC 2-702, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. He's looking at 400 months in prison and a $340,000 fine. He was found in possession of one empty bag, 1,413 baggies of meth,
The what?
one AP pistol, and 61 9mm bullets.
Okay, Mr. Chamberlain, do you have representation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I think. Would you like representation?
My pops could represent me right there.
I'm sorry, your father isn't a member of the DOJ. We would assign to you a public defender if you chose. But let's talk about your plea. Do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I plead guilty.
Would you like to ask for a plea deal, or would you like an attorney to negotiate one for you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you are saying that you are okay with doing your full time and paying your full fines. Your time is 400 months, 340K in penalties, and 150,000 in court costs. Are you fine with that?
Could you repeat that, please?
You're facing 400 months. Your penalty and fine is 340,000, and your court fees are 150,000. Okay? Are you fine with that? If you would like less time,
Is there a chance I could make a statement, ma'am?
yes, your statement would only go to lower your time, not your fines. Would you like to proceed?
That would be fine.
Okay, we're listening.
Just wanted to say that Your Honor, I just wanted to say that I am not going to make any excuses for the mistake I have made. You know, growing up in the rough streets of Chicago, I've had a rough past and suffer extreme PTSD due to the terrible conditions that city has to offer. And moving out here with nothing, I was blinded in spite of desperation, and I truly apologize to this beautiful city of Atlanta. Although this is my only first offense, I want to take full responsibility of my mistake, and I will rightfully take on any disciplinary actions that you feel is necessary. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good job, son.
Such a well-mannered young man. DA, has this softened your heart? Would you be willing to offer him reduced time in a plea deal?
I'll give, well, let me ask you, sir, is this the first time you've ever been in trouble with the law, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And if I may also ask, there are, do-rags and ink brushes and comic books that could be sold. Why have 1,000 meth when you can have 1,000 volumes of comics?
Good question.
I plead the fifth.
Answering that question wouldn't incriminate you because keep in mind you've already pled guilty and admitted guilt. So your Fifth Amendment wouldn't apply.
So could you repeat your question then, please?
I was just asking, out of all the things you could sell, why meth? There's a lot of things that kings can sell to make money. Brushes, do-rags, comics.
That's all I've ever known since growing up in the toughened streets of Chicago. I wasn't given much options growing up. You know, I grew up with a single mother that was strung out on crack, so it was real hard for me to see anything else, you know. But I figured why if my mother loved it so much, why not sell it, you know?
Wow.
I bet you other people love it just as much, you know. So blinded by that, you know, I've never been taught anything else in this life, but you know, I would love to be blessed with opportunity to do right.
That's really unfortunate. Okay, so Your Honor, I'm gonna go ahead and cite PC 1-102 Act of Grace Law. I will happily commute the defendant's time down in half, so he can serve 200 months instead of the 400, and the fine will remain the same. But keep in mind that the Act of Grace Law won't apply again, so I would try to find maybe a better community of people to be around, you know, people that might be able to introduce you to comics and brushes and alternative ways of making money, because I understand that this is all you know, but you need to get to know something else, because this is just going to send you in for a longer time.
All right.
So you'll get 200 months instead of 400, and you'll still have to pay $340,000.
All right, Mr. Chamberlain, do you accept this deal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm now invoicing you for your court fees. Okay, and that will remain at $150,000. If you can please flex your F7, Mr. Chamberlain, there you go. Flex your F7. Flex,
F7.
yeah, flex your F7, and you're going to go ahead and pay that invoice from Boogie X. That's your DOJ fees. Officer, you can approach and invoice him his $340K and fines and penalties.
He's got an invoice.
All right, you can pack him up. Be gentle. For we do believe our brothers are the future.
I couldn't. Something was going on with my ears. Was there any community service involved? Okay. All right.
So you got a phone in your pocket?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got my phone in my
Going off
pocket.
this community service, let me know.
Trying to get somebody to turn them pieces.
Okay.
You need me to
Yeah. We definitely need some people flipping them pieces down there.
Alright.
And since he makes crack, he's definitely good with the
will hold your
with the
phone
whisk.
in your evidence locker until which you are released.
I mean, hey, the chemistry.
What happened, officer? Tell me, I'm his father.
Be good
Come on with, definitely come up with a new tomato sauce.
Oh, alrighty. Can I have his belongings?
According to the Italians, tomato sauce is a chemistry of its own.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
I got it.
Every person I ever known to go to Italy says it stinks.
Shouts out to your family. Let's hope that your father understands that meth is bad. Pack that young king up.
Oh, he's making meth.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely gotta have some ideology about chemistry with that one.
All right. Well, I think court is now adjourned.
Alrighty.
To his father and brothers, he will be out in 200 months.
What was that?
He will be out in 200 months. Please,
in 200 months?
Yes. So please, when he returns to you, you do know how much meth he was caught with. Maybe you know.
What was that?
You do? Did you hear how much meth he was caught with?
No, I did not.
DA, can you remind him how much meth he was caught with?
1,413.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
You're my brother, man.
He will get a learning for sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You guys have.
And what was his the financial standpoint of it?
The penalty was 340,000, and his fees was 150,000.
Okay, perfect. And we have that 150 as well that he wasn't able to come up with.
All right, just
Who
go
do I?
ahead and put it in his bank account because the state takes
Okay,
it directly
perfect.
from him. Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm about to send it to his bank account right now.
All right. All right. Good night, gentlemen. Godspeed to all of you.
Thank you.
All right, dismiss it. Dismiss it. Dismiss the court. Dismiss the
Oh,
court.
court dismissed.
Yeah.
Everybody left anyway. All right, officers.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I
Thank
try to
y'all
wait.
very much.
You're welcome.
We got a really long warrant list. I think Quinn's
Say it again?
we have a really long warrant list. I think Quinn's going to start tackling that along with you guys.
I know some people already got picked up on that one. I'll go through and I'll tell her who's good, who's not.
Okay, good. All right, I'll check back in with that.
All right.
Court is on Monday. Tomorrow's no court.
And for
I'm trying to figure out, do y'all know what happened to Sally that used to be up there?
she gone.
Why she gone?
I'm glad she gone. She's taking the space.
I liked her.
Too
I felt
much
safe
space.
with Sally. Nobody tried to fuck with me while Sally was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Sally died.
Oh, 007. You're always such a man of little words. I'll take him with me. I'm joking. All right. I'll see y'all Monday.
All right, yes.
All right, guys. I'm headed out for the weekend. I hope you guys enjoy your time. Hope you've enjoyed your time with me here at the court. Monday we are back at it. Actually, I think we might be streaming a little bit earlier on Monday. We have that dwell case at 6 p.m. That should be interesting. In the meantime, I love you all. Thank y'all for joining. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.